This is Andrew Klavan on the culture. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, British Prime Minister David Cameron, and French President Nicolas Sarkozy have all declared that multiculturalism is a failure. What could these strange little Europeans possibly mean? And why do they all talk so funny? Let's explore. Multiculturalism is the philosophy that every culture is morally valid, and no one culture has the right to impose its values on another. Thus, if someone escapes their hellhole of a country and comes to your country to enjoy its freedoms, they shouldn't be forced to learn and accept the principles and customs on which those freedoms stand, but should instead be allowed to retain the charming native language, religion, and manners that turned their country into a hellhole in the first place. This system helps to avoid the cultural chauvinism implied by assimilation, and instead gives you a warm sense of your own open-minded tolerance right up until the moment your immigrants strap on the delightful explosives of their beloved homeland and in their quaint little way blow you to pieces. From broad-minded ancient writers like Herodotus, through canny conquerors like Alexander the Great and Augustus Caesar, to the all-embracing genius of Jesus Christ, tolerant acceptance of different cultures has evolved into a central Western value. Other cultures don't have that value of tolerance, so we have to tolerate their intolerance and let them kill us. This applies abroad as well as at home. For instance, let's say a person is homosexual and lives in a Western nation where by and large straight people tolerate gay people, or in England where it's the other way around. If he visits, say, Iran, where they hang homosexuals, then that would be right for their culture, and courtesy demands he participate in the local scene by being executed. Of course, if he merely flies over Iran in international airspace, Iranian culture wouldn't apply. Unless their culture doesn't recognize international airspace, in which case he probably should have gone around. Multiculturalism is based on the equally sound philosophy of moral relativism, which holds that nothing is absolutely right or wrong, except that nothing is absolutely right or wrong. As Shakespeare put it, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Actually, Shakespeare gave those words to Hamlet, who was pretending to be insane when he said them, which is to imply that moral relativism isn't just crazy, it's fake crazy, because no one's really crazy enough to believe it. So perhaps now we've begun to understand. This is Andrew Klavan on the culture. This is Andrew Klavan on the culture. In an effort to bring peace to the Middle East, President Barack Obama has proposed that Israel should return to its 1967 borders in exchange for being annihilated by its enemies. This would be an extension of the brilliant 2005 trade-off, in which Israel gave up control of the Gaza Strip in return for being relentlessly attacked by rocket fire, while Palestinians voted to give leadership in the territory to Hamas, a terrorist organization bent on Jewish genocide. But enticing as this offer may be, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has subtly indicated his displeasure with the president's idea by flying to Washington and carefully explaining to Obama the meaning of the ancient biblical phrase, Kish mir Yiddish Tukis. This creates a major obstacle in achieving the so-called two-state solution, a proposal that would bring about lasting peace by dividing the area fairly between the Israelis and those who have sworn to exterminate them if it's the last thing they ever do. That's why today, we here at Klavan on the Culture would like to lay out what we consider the only plan likely to bring tranquility, freedom, and justice to the region. The one-state solution, in which the entire Middle East is given to the Jews. That's right. The one-state solution is a proposal of genius that would not only help the Palestinians, but would instantly achieve the noblest goals of the so-called Arab Spring. For instance, turning the entire Middle East into one big Israel will secure religious freedom for everyone in the area. As things stand, Muslim states either ban other religions completely or torment their practitioners to the point of extinction. not so Israel. Although Jimmy Carter and other leftists pretending not to be anti-Semites have accused Israel of practicing religious apartheid, the fact is Muslims and Christians have full freedom of religion in the Jewish state. They can and do vote and serve in the Israeli parliament and Supreme Court. They can and do volunteer to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces. And only under the Jews are the religious sites of the Holy Land open to all. Indeed, once the entire Middle East becomes Israel, most of the region's Arabs will be freer and better off in every way than they've ever been before. The United Nations reports that Israel is far more democratic and more advanced in human development than any Arab state. And of course, only in Israel is that half of the population sometimes known as women, or sweetheart, or baby, given full human rights. Handing control of the Middle East over to the Jews is such a terrific idea. In fact, many of you may be thinking, hey, maybe the Jews should run America too. Of course, some anti-Semites believe the Jews already run America, but that's ridiculous. If the Jews ran America, we wouldn't be $14 trillion in debt. Knuckleheads. For more information on Israel, try searching the subject on Front Page Magazine at frontpagemag.com. This is Andrew Klavan on The Culture.